Moving out can be really exhausting. You need to properly organize the process and plan your time so the stress will not kill any joy from moving into a new apartment. Or you can listen to our story and follow the experience of the San Francisco broker that moved the entire building to a new address. And before we start the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. A 139-year-old Victorian house was pulled through the streets of San Francisco in the end of February 2021, moving 6 blocks from Franklin Street to Fulton Street. Though it wasn't easy. The owner of the house, a famous broker, spent a couple of years and about $400,000 on planning the movement. He paid around $200,000 for the move itself and the same amount in fees to transport the building known as the Englander House. He needed to get 15 permits, ripped out parking meters, and sewed off tree limbs. The owner may have to change the address number that is painted on the window above the door. In 2013, a man bought the 6-bedroom house, and 7 years later, he took it over to move it to the new location. He decided to set it up in a 6-block townhouse he bought in order to merge these 2 properties and then sell it off to luxury homes. In order not to transport the house in parts, he decided to transport it entirely. The ancient building was loaded onto a truck site and transported along the streets of San Francisco, which during World War II were especially made wide for such occasions. Phil Joy, who moved the house, told the San Francisco Chronicle, "Why don't we demo it? Look at it, it's historic. Original lumber, you cannot get lumber like that anymore. Tie grain from 800-year-old trees, no knots, it's a beautiful thing. Move a house, save a tree," he said. Though he was not the first one to move the entire building to a new location. Some 50 years ago, the famous and beloved architecture of San Francisco of the Victorian period was going through hard times. It was not near as respected and adored as it is now. In the 70s of the last century, the city's renovation agency stopped the massive destruction of vulnerable Victorian buildings and decided to move them around the city. The photographer Dave Glass was fortunate enough to take pictures of the transportation of several of these buildings in San Francisco at that time. As part of the city's reconstruction project, these magnificent 19th century buildings from the Western Addition area literally moved to new address. Later, they were sold for only $1 plus moving and repair costs. This idea sounds really amazing. It does not only provoke new ideas, but also changes the life perspective. After this story, there is only one question. Where do you want to move next? Thanks for watching!